Hey everybody, Britical Saiyans here. I'm Jonah.
No, I'm Matt.
And we've got a new format, apparently.
Yep.
So we've got Fusion
Format,
World.
reboot, whatever. Same principle. Right. So, yes, Dragon Ball Super card game Fusion World. This was the big hype thing that they made. The link to the countdown of it wasn't supposed to have been shown in that other video that we did. Hence why it was like 166 hours. I noticed that got took down very quickly.
They're like, oh, too soon.
Yeah. But this is what it was. This is all the build up for. And they're saying early 2024. So this, if I remember correctly, is February was the dates they said.
Yeah.
Well, the month they said. And it was February 16th for the starter decks. And February 23rd for the set.
Yeah.
I believe. And then the pre-release was supposed to be the 16th, 17th weekend to correspond with the launch of the starter decks. I think that's pretty much the idea of it, isn't it? So
yeah. But they've also announced this is the one they're going to be doing as the online version instead of the format we used to, which are now called Masters.
Yes, so the old format is called Masters, or Master, whichever way it is, doesn't really matter, same thing. And then you got this other format, which is Fusion World, which, if I remember correctly and understood from what they were trying to say, is to try and simplify the game a bit more. Because the game has gotten to the stage now where there is too much to take in for new players. It is just not feasible. Unless you are a proper veteran card game player and has no problem learning all the erratas and everything. But if you're literally a brand new to card games and you try and play Dragon Ball now, no, you're going to be put off.
Yeah, there's a lot of keywords, there's a lot of timings on card interactions, there's a lot of like negation and reactivation of effects. You've also got, like Matt said, the erratas and the ban list. So if you're a new player and you see a card, you go take it as it is without knowing that there's an errata in place. And you might not learn that till you go to a tournament, and they're like, yeah, that card has an errata, so play it correctly or get disqualified.
Yeah.
So it's a good idea. They've realised, okay, we've added too much to this game, we need to take a bit of a refresh and go from start and try and keep it simple.
Yeah.
So
and instead of introducing a rotation system, just to try and keep the game fresh that way, just decide to do this instead.
Yeah, as I joked, anyone that's a Vanguard player, this is V-Series.
Yeah, until we get overdressed.
Yeah.
Until it happens again.
And it's like, guess what? I'm also just going to say, because we know Fu's coming in set 23. Fu is Luard. So...
Oh, well, yeah, for those Vanguard players might get that joke, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not a Vanguard player, obviously ignore that.
Ignore that. Don't even Google. Just find a Vanguard player.
So, yeah, honestly, from what I saw, this looks like it could be a lot of fun. I think it's supposed to be more linear in gameplay. So, but because we haven't seen any actual physical gameplay or know how they've changed the rules, because they said something about they changed the rules, right? Like it's more. I don't know what the wording they use, but whatever they said.
The only difference we've seen is in the trailers. They showed the cards being played, but it still flowed like a normal game of Dragon Ball, so there could be differences that we don't see with regards to the cards themselves instead of gameplay, but we won't know until we have more information.
Yeah. The artwork that we could see, like this kind of artwork, but it's not quite, I don't know whether this is just dummy artwork or whatever, but if the cards are going to look like this, it is beautiful.
Yeah, it is really nice.
One thing I've noticed here though, with the Awaken, like Yeah. Unless you know that says awaken at a glance, you might not realise it says awaken. Because look at the way they've written it. It just...
Oh yeah, they've taken the bridge out of the A's.
Yeah.
But
So,
it's trying to make it more dynamic, isn't it?
yeah. And then this is pretty much... Well, it says when your life is reduced to less than half, the leader card awakens. The battle is accelerated by the power-up and in a tight situation. Right. So, we have no idea how you're going to awaken in this version of the game.
Besides life.
Besides life. Like, there's...
And they might just be keeping it to that because of all the early awakenings and like specific awakening conditions that they have already. So they might just be like, yeah, we'll just keep them to life. That's so much simpler.
Yeah.
Which would be a good thing.
Again, they're still sticking with a combo.
But
Although, I mean, that's a lot of cards, which is why I'm saying that number.
but they're all 10 combos by the looks of it.
Yeah, I don't know how clear that is. It's kind of clear. Right, so they got 10k here. The card name, or the character name, is down the bottom here now. And then the base power of the card is here. The combo and the cost of the card is still in the same slot. So from what we can work out, like here, this is probably a better example.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like they've got... I don't know, it's hard to tell really. They might have removed the whole like character name, trait, era type of thing.
I mean, the era part never made sense. Because it didn't play to the game in any sort of way.
No, it didn't.
Except for knowing what part of the story that happens in. It's like, okay, but what actual difference does that make?
And this just means that the game could just go into card name instead of like card name or character name. It was like, it's got this certain part in the card name or this character name, you can search it.
Yeah.
So it's just more simplified. It's just like character name, done. Simple as, like, or card name, however you want to go with it. So the card name, boom, okay. If it has this in the card name, nothing else. It's just that simple.
Yeah. Because they'll probably... Because by the looks of this Gohan one, you've got Gohan, and then underneath it's saying, like, saying Earthling Universe 7.
Oh, they still have the trait stuff then?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it might be you have traits and character names instead of character name and then card name with the character name in it. But then they'll probably still allow you to have multiple of the same character as long as they're from different...
It might be similar to how they've done with Digimon.
Yeah,
where it's all the same Digimon name,
but
like,
different sets.
Different sets is how, and like the different numbers at the bottom, the serial codes.
Yeah.
Or set numbers, set serial, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Is how you're differentiating and how you can run the multiple copies of a card, but even though it's got the same name.
It's how you built Videl, was that there was two Videl skill list ones, but they had different card numbers, so you were allowed both in the deck instead of having to pick one skill list. Because Videl skill, when that came in, it had two different Videls, and they were like, yeah, you can run both because of different card numbers. Other than that, they're exactly the same.
Did they say that? Did they?
Yeah, that's why I run both, because you can.
I didn't even pick up on that, to be honest.
Well, it's going a while back.
Yeah.
We're just kind of used to it now.
So, and then, as you can see, they've put, it says battle on
the side.
On the side, and extra on the side. So, yeah, they've just changed the overall look, which is great. I think doing this is so much nicer. When we start seeing the actual physical cards, I think it's going to be really, really great. Yeah, it's all just going to be a wait and see thing now, guys. But they've still doing a whole 50 to 60 cards. Victory condition is just if you run out of life.
Yeah.
For now, this is all we know. Right? This, what you're seeing on screen is all we know. That is it.
There could be deck out involved, but
there probably will be. I'm just trying to look at this dummy playmat they've put out, see if there's anything on there that stands out.
Yeah, but they haven't said anything about deck out, but I suppose the idea is that you don't really go to that.
No.
Or they might just let you replenish so that you can keep playing because it's meant to be more fast paced.
I honestly can't make any of that out other than
It's just telling you what you can do.
draw one card. That's from what I can make out from that. Well, no, I wanted to see if they've changed any of the phases in any slight way.
Yeah.
That's all. I was just trying to make it out. They've done a video,
Yep.
which is just the trailer. It's worth a watch, guys. So we'll go further down. Right. As for products, they've announced 4 starter decks.
Mhm.
And that is a Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and Broly. We know that information because they showed it in the live stream they did with the director guy talking. And then they said about the set as well. I can't remember if they gave it a name. But that's how we also know the dates as well, because that's when they said the dates. Just so you're aware. The others part... Sorry. We're assuming, based off what they already do, that's just going to be your anniversaries, your premium packs, your starter decks, or... Well, no, starter decks are there, sorry.
Your gift sets.
Your gift sets, all that kind of stuff. If they continue to do those type of products.
They probably will.
Probably will, wouldn't surprise me if they did. The anniversary one is definitely one they do need to keep up in both versions of the card games, just because the anniversary sets are great. And then the digital, one thing that everybody is waiting for and so hyped for, those who played the beta, nice one. We didn't because it was awkward time frame.
Yeah, it was 3 a.m. in our country when we were able to play it. It was like,
Yeah, no, pass. Hard pass.
we like sleeping.
And available for PC only.
Yep.
So, Jonah Cry. I have no problems, obviously.
Yeah, you have a PC, I don't.
So, well, I've also got a room for one.
I mean, I could get a laptop.
And they say early 2024, so...
We're hoping it's going to be either at the same time as the game's launch, or maybe slightly earlier, so people can have a bit of a play around before it comes out.
Yeah,
Basically.
what I would like to see is for this to drop, say, at the start of February or the end of January. Because of the starter that's coming out February 16th, it would be nice if they'd allow people to play their starter decks on the digital version so they know which one they want to pick up. Without just looking at the cards and going, oh, this one seems cool on paper, as it were.
Yeah.
Or on cardboard, whatever you want to go with.
Or like, I like that colour, that one.
Yeah. It gives you a chance to actually physically play them.
Yeah.
Digitally play them, you know what I mean. So then you'd be like, yes, this is the one I want to play IRL.
Yeah.
Or you go, okay, I've played these ones on digital. I want to play this one IRL and not that one on digital because I just want to mix it up and be like, I'll play these ones digital, these ones IRL or something like that.
Or you might find that you like how the colour works, it's just that start deck's not the best. So you're like, okay, well, I'll stick with that starter deck and just wait until something comes out.
Yeah.
To make it better.
So hopefully they'll do that. Fingers crossed, because that would be the best way to go about it.
Yeah.
Just because I honestly think that'll help sell the product as well.
Yeah. They've said about doing an open beta. Whether or not they actually mean open, we have yet to see.
Like, what they consider open.
Yeah.
Basically. What, fingers crossed, they'll do is they'll go from this start date to this end date, no time thing, it just opens at this time in this region. Like, hopefully they'll specify the time frames for each region, or they'll just probably more than likely just go, it's this time frame for this region. You Google it for yourself, probably the difference, but it'll be open from that point to this point at all times, apart from when it goes down for maintenance during that time period, which it will more than likely. There is no doubt about that. But I'm really, really hopeful that they will just not have it as a, it's from this time to this time, this date, on these dates, and it's there's not I could get doing that for the closed beta. That was perfectly fine. But for the open, they do need it to be open.
Yeah.
Ideally, because then they'll be able to pull more data, and then they'll get a lot more feedback, so it won't be as closed off. And the fact that this is also just all of the new stuff. This is not pulling from the old version of the card game. This is all the new version of the card game.
Yeah.
Which is another reason why they decided to do digital version based off the new one, because
it's easier.
It's easier on them. It's better for newer players because it just means everything is fresh for everybody. Everybody's just on an even playing field. There's no like you've had these sets before this other region. You're ahead. All that kind of stuff. It's just everybody's on equal playing field. Simple as. And also because they said that trying to make the online client with a backlog of 6 years worth of cards
takes way too long.
It's just too much.
Yeah.
Doing this is the easier approach and in some ways the better approach, but I get at the same time there are going to be a lot of people that are irritated by this, and honestly I do support you. I completely understand.
Yeah.
I can get behind that because I've been playing since day one as well. Joe's been playing since day one. We get it. It would have been nice to have it, but it just can't. It's just not a feasible thing. Not if you want this client.
Not officially.
You'll be waiting so much longer for this client if they're going to do that. And then they got to figure out how they're going to approach ban lists and erratas and stuff like that. It's like, what kind of ban lists do they go? Do they just go with the ban list that just exists and then go from there, or what do they do? Do they start from set one and then slowly release them as they go along? But then of course they got to release the ban list as they go along as well, or something like that.
It creates a lot of issues because there's been so much that's been developed as the game's played. Like there's so many erratas, there's ban lists, there's ban cards. If they do sets, will that ban card be in the set, or will you get it and then 2 sets later, guess what? It got banned, so yours is now banned. We're kind of lucky the Western region's been ahead of the Eastern regions, which normally the other way around in card games. So we would have access to a lot of things and know how to play a lot of things because we've had it. They'll be like, oh my god, this is so cool and new, let me try it out. And we're like, yeah, no, we got bored of that like 4 sets ago. And we also know how to crumple it because we played it, got bored, and went on something new. So it creates issues, whereas like this is a flat baseline for everyone. So there's still going to be like the skill difference, but it won't be as apparent. It will just be like someone's more used to the flow of the game than another person. It's not like I've been playing for 4 years, you've been playing for 2, so I'm a trump you kind of deal, which is good. Because that's what you need to make a online game like this a bit more successful, is less of a skill gap and more of just a like understanding process as you play.
Yeah,
that's kind of the issue Masters has, is that a lot of the long time Yu-Gi-Oh players just kind of trump everyone else because they know the meta.
Yeah. We don't know anything else about the digital version, by the way.
No.
We don't know how guessing the cards are going to work or anything like that. So
my money's on the gacha system.
Probably, yeah. It is probably going to be a gacha system. I'm hoping that it's not all pay to win, because otherwise that's just going to kill it, because that's not an approach to take.
No.
It's not the best, and I think that's pretty much it, because the other bit is just saying about the stores and the events, but those are a Gen Con, awesome. You get to have the demo decks and all of that, you lucky pieces of work.
You get to have some demo play. The cards might be blank, but you get like a bit of an advanced idea on what's going on.
Or they'll have like demo text, like just simplified. But yeah, there you go, guys. So just wanted to talk about that, and sorry if the video's gone a bit long, but honestly, there's enough to take in. And when we see more information about this, obviously we will be covering it. And just as a heads up for you guys, we are going to do our very best for when the game does drop in February. If we can try and do it, we'll have one of each of the star decks, depending on how it goes, and we're going to be getting the actual set as well.
Yeah.
Because we're going to do what we can to keep up with both sides. It depends on how they continue doing the master side of it as well, because it's like, if they try and release both products simultaneously in the same months that they would keep releasing them, it's going to slowly get worse and worse, and then eventually one of the versions is going to die out, because you'll have all the newer players going for the new one, and then all the veteran players either shifting, going with both, or staying with the master one. And then eventually it is just going to get too much.
We could see that like they do less for the masters. It might be like they do a set every 4 months, or they could just be like, we're going to keep releasing like extra and special sets because we want to focus the main sets for Fusion World. With masters, there's a big enough card pool that you can make whatever, and if we throw a few support cards, a couple new deck ideas out there, you won't struggle to play. You will be fine. It just relies on you to fill the gaps. So, but like I said, there's a big enough card pool. If they introduce anything new, like, we just need a few cards to go with it, and then we just shove our generic stuff in there, and we're good to go.
Alright guys, so thanks very much for watching. Leave any thoughts down in the comments below. Honestly, in the nicest way possible, honestly, give us your overall opinion about this. If you hate it, that's fair enough. Just don't get too brutal in the comment section about it. Just try to take a nice approach to it, please.
It's like, give us your thoughts, but also remember, like, you're in a public format. So you can be angry about it by all means. Like, we're not 100% on it yet. We're still kind of like, okay, we'll see how it goes. But you gotta understand that this isn't for you, it's for everyone. So this is a good way to get new people playing, to introduce a new new section of the fandom to this card game. Because we've had it for 6 years and it's difficult to get into without knowing the staples and being able to get hold of the staple cards that you're going to need for every colour, or every version of a coloured deck you will make. So it's just a nice level playing field. We do want to hear opinions, like you've heard ours, so feel free to share yours.
Bye bye guys.
Bye.